Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. I'm gonna be real, been a bit of a hot moment, I need a quick refresher. Right, we went on a date. Huh? I don't remember making a choice there. We'll see how this goes. We went on a date with CL for some Indian food, it was great, and now we're going to go see Arkwid. Yeah, it's a little play on words, because we're not alone. The park is dark and deserted. My flimsy excuse, aimed at no one in particular, disappears into the night. I'm just talking to the audience, he says. And Arkwid's like, you see them too? Also, hi there, Canadian model Arkwid. More so your older version. But wow. I think Arkwid being Canadian is the biggest plot twist ever. For those of you who don't know, in an old interview, they confirmed that the inspiration for Arkwid's design came from a foreign girl in a beauty magazine, and they found her. She was a Canadian model who was in Japan getting her pictures taken. She doesn't look like Arkwid anymore, but let me tell you, in those pictures at the time, oh my god, that is literally Arkwid, huh? They just stole her design. Wowie. Yeah, so honorary Canadian Arkwid. Cool. Besides, as far as promises go, I made a promise to Arkwid first. I silently make a sincere apology to CL. My only defense is to argue that these are two separate matters.
よし、吸血鬼探しを始めよう。今夜はどこに行くんだ？
今夜は特に当たりをつけている場所はないわ。街を歩いて死者を見つけるぐらい。あなたの目なら生きている人間と死んでいる人間、一目で判別がつくから。
Cool. Is my brain gonna blow up from doing that?
ちょっときついだろうけど、できる？シキ。
Arkwid is telling me to take my glasses off and walk around town. I get nauseous when I take my glasses off, even when there's no one around, so it'll be all the worse in the crowded city center. All I can say in response to that face is, "Leave it to me!"
もちろん。協力するって、そういうことだろ。
ええ、頼りにしてるわ、パートナーさん。
If she calls me partner, I can't say no. Like, you know the whole, oh, with a face like that, I can't say no? No, partner? That's it, I'm done.
ああ、でも本当に辛くなったらすぐに休んでね。あなたの目は特別だから、大切に扱わないと。
For some reason, when you say that with that face, my brain goes, I don't know if I believe you. At Arkwid's command, we march towards the bustling downtown area. I feel a strange surge in motivation as I resolve to take off my glasses. First up is the shopping district. We need to find and eliminate as many vampires as we can. But in spite of my eagerness, we come up empty-handed. We go from the shopping district to the back alleys, to the office district, then all the way to the abandoned factory, without finding a single vampire. Everyone must be on high alert after hearing about Roa's death. Afraid of Arkwid, they've holed up in their rooms, wherever those might be. We won't be able to find them like this. They can't stay hidden forever. If they don't eat, they'll turn back into corpses. One way or another, we'll have to take a risk if they want to survive. Will they come out of hiding first, or will we let up on the hunt first? This waiting game will likely continue for some time. Kind of anticlimactic, but it's better than there being more victims. And more than anything, this means I get to spend more time walking around town with Arkwid.
今夜は完 全に無駄漏れだったな。緊張して損した。
Got a headache over nothing. I sit down on a bench and wait for my lingering headache to pass. I said it. The night air is cold. It feels like every breath I take freezes the toxins that are making my head pound. My dizziness and nausea slowly start to subside.
そうね。でも私は楽しかったわ。式は相変わらず文句ばっかりだったけど、無駄なことがこんなに面白いなんて知らなかった。その点は空気を読んだ人たちに感謝ね。お礼に出会った時は容赦なく粉々にしてあげる。
You are definitely way more unhinged on this route. In a bad way. Despite that disturbing declaration, Arkwood's in a good mood. She's spinning around in circles in front of me as I rest on the bench. What's up with her? She's like a kid who just stepped outside for the first time in her life. Or a prisoner who's finally gotten a taste of freedom after being locked away for years.
まあ、元気なことはいいことだけど。
While my mouth spouts off a sarcastic remark, my eyes can't help but follow Arkwood's form. I guess I can't deny it any longer. I care deeply for CL, but I'm completely smitten by Arkwood. Buddy! Buddy, you can't do that on this route. You're gonna have a bad time. Just as I feel drawn to CL, I feel drawn to her. I was obligated at first because I had killed her, but that excuse no longer applies. What a fool I am. Although I want to be useful to CL, I'm infatuated with her mortal enemy, a vampire. There must be something wrong with me. Logically, I know that I should keep my distance from Arkwood, but this primal urge pulls me toward her otherworldly Canadian beauty. Once, I went so far as to give in to my lust and ruthlessly committed an unforgivable act. I shake my head to clear away the lingering images. Nausea's back, but that made me feel like myself again. It reminded me that I'm not worthy of spending time with Arkwood like this.
アルクエド、元気そうだけど体の調子はどうなんだ？お前、昨日くしゃみしていただろ。風邪とかひいてないか？
Watch her be like, no, I just did it because humans look cute when they do it, so.
風邪？免疫機能の低下による発熱のこと？そんなの引いてないよ。
Alright, Wikipedia.
ねえ、どうしてそんなことを聞くの？もしかして私のことを心配してくれてる？
More like I'm worried about you transferring some, like, true ancestor COVID to me. Arkwood bends over to look me in the eye. Remember when, like, people said you couldn't say that on YouTube? That was, like, super fake.
別にそんなんじゃない。俺がやっちまった傷がちゃんと治ってるのか気になっただけだ。
She's so close, I feel drunk on her scent. I look away, self-conscious about lying to her.
式につけられた傷はそう簡単には完治しないわ。昨日のはそれとは別。多分身体機能を変えていたからじゃない？戦う時以外はあなたに合わせて人間寄りにしているから。
Oh. You're giving yourself a human idol stance. Huh.
はあ？人間寄りってなんで？
さあ、なんででしょう。
Arkwood giggles as she skips away from me. She looks like a butterfly fluttering about.
ま、風邪のはずがないんだよな。吸血鬼は風邪をひかないって先輩も言ってたし。
Hi? Becoming more human sounds a bit pointless to me. Not outright dangerous, but as long as she's making a steady recovery, I'm happy. Feeling relieved, I lift my face up to see...
先輩ってあの女のこと？
Oh no. Oh no. We basically said another woman's name during lovemaking. We basically did that. We did the horrible thing to do. Arkwood's standing even closer to me than she was before, glaring into my soul.
なんだよいきなり。あの女って誰さ？
とぼけないで。あの女はあの女よ。グローブと戦っていたあいつ。
Like, can't you just go, yeah, she goes to school with me? Don't worry about it. Can you just use that excuse?
やっぱり昼間はあいつにまとわりつかれてるのね。
いや、そんなことは。
Buddy, you don't sound like very honest. I'm the one clinging to Seal, but I guess that's true, but telling Arquid that would spell certain doom.
まあ、吸血鬼のことを教えてくれたのは先輩だけど、いいじゃないか。先輩もお前もやってることは同じなんだから。ロアは倒したんだし、もう敵対する理由はないんだろ。
理由はなくても相入れないの、私たちは。いい？神祖であろうと使徒であろうと、吸血鬼にとって代行者は敵なの。前にも話したでしょ？あいつらがどれだけ陰湿な奴らかって。もう忘れちゃったの？シキのバカ。
Wow, she called us a baka.
覚えてる。ちゃんと覚えてます。確か。
She explained all this to me at the hotel. An organization formed for the sole purpose of exterminating vampires. Hunters of heretics who execute the Lord's teachings in his holy name. The executors of the church, CL's true allegiance. The main reason dead apostles operate in secret is because they're afraid of being discovered by them.
吸血鬼の天敵だろ。夜の巡回だってもともとは先輩の仕事なんだろうし。となるとお前はなんだ？吸血鬼界の裏切り者か？
それを言うなら私は吸血鬼にとっての天罰よ。
Dang, cool.
まあいいわ。代行者なんて虫みたいなものだし、連中がどんなに出てきても関係ない。でもあいつだけは別。
This has seriously gotten under Arkwid's skin. She can't even stand to say Seal's name. I give up. I knew they didn't get along, but I had no idea it was this bad.
それであなたはどうなの、シキ？
え？
あいつをどう思っているのかってこと。私、シキのことは何だっていいんだけど、あいつだけはダメ。あなたの気持ちがあいつに向くだけで許せない。
Okay. Those crimson eyes begin to flare. Hold up. She looks like she's seriously ready to kill someone.
許せないってなんだよ。先輩は俺の学校の先輩だ。いつも世話になってるし、グローブの時だって助けてくれた。アルクエイドだって先輩と一度話せば仲良く。
I don't think they would. No, buddy, I really don't think they would.
絶対にならない。私はあいつが嫌いだし、あいつも私を殺したがってるし。
That's a scary sprite. Boy, you have multiple eye types.
シキは騙されているだけよ。埋葬機関の人間はみんな好戦的で、隙あらば襲いかかってくるんだから。だいたいあなたは初めからあいつの正体を知っていたの？どうせいつも通り一般人のふりをしてあなたをからかっていたんじゃない？
There's a lot you can mean by true identity. That's true. Seal did hide her identity from me. But she had her reasons. The only way she can protect people is by keeping the existence of vampires a secret. Since vampires disguise themselves as humans, revealing her identity would alert them of the Executor's presence. Besides, CL is still CL. Knowing the truth hasn't changed that. Having lunch with her, laughing about pointless nonsense with Arihiko, spending time together in the tea ceremony room, it was all so much fun. If such a thing were possible, I might have been better off never knowing Seal's identity.
そう。
Can you read minds? Do you have ether light? Oh
シ
no.
キ、あなた、あの女と私、どっちの味方？
Uh-oh. Her tone is openly hostile. It seems that Seal is an enemy that Arquid will never embrace. Except the times when they kind of do, I've seen enough Yuri. That's why she's glaring at me so fiercely. Anyone who sides with her enemy, even Shiki Tono himself, is her enemy too.
そんなことは絶対にないと思うけど、あの女に関わるのはやめて。万が一にも仲良くなんてなってたら殺すから。
アルクエイド。
The words get stuck in my throat. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh jeez. Well, I'm sorry. CL is too important to me. No matter what, can't think of CL as an enemy.
先輩は大切な人だ。味方とか敵とかそういう割り振りはできない。
何よ、それじゃあ私はどういう割り振りなの？
お前は
We're
放っておけないやつっていうか。
Unable to say what I mean, I awkwardly scratched the back of my neck. Even tonight, I withstood the pain of going without glasses just so I could walk around town with Arkwood. I don't know why, but just being with this woman makes me feel like my sins and fears are all erased. So much so that I have to consciously force myself to not wrap my arms around her right here and now. Buddy, those are her titters. What are you looking at? In other words, I want milk. I mean her.
あ、いや、それは。
This is bad. This is really bad. It's unfair, really. Arkwood is just charming me with her overwhelming beauty. It's gotta be it.
ああ、もういいだろ。なんだってそんなことを聞くんだ、お前は。
そんなの私にわかるわけないでしょ。もういい、私帰る。また明日ね、シキ。
I lose my cool and yell at her, only to have her yell at me right back.
帰るっていきなりか。というか、明日もここで待ち合わせでいいんだな。
当たり前です。
Oh.
もし破ったらシキの家に押しかけてやるから。
Okay, that's pretty funny, because she would. Arkwood leaps away in a flash after taking a horrifying parting shot.
たく、何なんだよ、一体。
She's mad at me. But we're still on for tomorrow. This flip-flopping is driving me crazy.
でも、今ので怒るってことは、あいつ。
It might be reasonable to assume that Arkwood likes me in her own way. I'd feel the same way if a friend of mine were close with someone I didn't like.
あいつ、人間なんてどうでもいいって言ってたのに。
She claims to be a vampire, but what is she thinking? Not that I'd know what vampires think about in the first place.
帰るか。そろそろ0時だしな。
With a sigh, I head out from the park. I still have my strength, yet my steps feel strangely heavy. So, I'm not going to do every variant, because I have a good feeling that we'll have to redo some scenes. That one's one where we might have to pick the other. I have in good conscience that I will need to pick that other one at some point. Where are we? What are we doing? The iron rod is raised high and swung down in one fluid motion. At its end is a blade over 50 centimeters long. It has seen many years of use, and its once keen edge remains perpetually blunt. Is this Noel's halberd? Weighing in at 1 metric ton. That's pretty big. Gravity is all it takes to propel it downward. The dull blade crushes the skull of its panic-stricken prey with its immense weight. The force with which it turns bone to powder is something to behold.
何？
What are we doing? A natural response. The sight is enough to horrify anyone. They cannot comprehend what is happening. They cannot comprehend what has just happened. This is a safe zone. This area is supposed to be free of danger. But this town is no longer safe for vampires. The true ancestor princess and the executors have seen to that. With both on the prowl, they are steadily running out of places to run. Are we getting a sympathetic look at the vampires? Faced with their imminent doom, the vampires were offered a deal. If they met certain conditions, they would be allowed to escape. So, with their guards let down, they gathered here to accept the offer.
あれ？みんな反応悪いんじゃない？
Oh my god, did you like honeypot them? Did you be like, Yeah, we'll let you escape, and now you're just gonna slaughter them all?
ここは雲の子みたいに逃げ回るところでしょ？
Interesting choice of metaphor. A massive weapon in hand, the woman in nun's clothing tilts her head confusedly. She sees 13 faces around her. Each one belongs to a pathetic fugitive vampire come to beg for their life.
14人もいるから広い場所にしてあげたのに。これじゃあちょっと拍子抜けかな。
The nun sighs, hanging her head in disappointment. The turnout is decent for a story she made up on the fly, so it never happened back in her home country. Even given a month to drum up anticipation, only 2 or 3 at most would take the bait. But there are as many as 14 here. The layout of the city, coupled with how gullible people are in this country, made it laughably easy.
おっと、今1匹潰れたからあと13匹よね。弦が悪いからもう1匹潰しておこっか。
She swings her 2-meter-long murder weapon. The halberd meets no resistance as it sinks into the head of its next victim, splattering it like a rotting pumpkin. That's a vampire noise. Human-like shrieks of despair fill the air. The men and women gathered here are mostly in their early 20s. None of them had even seen the face of their blood-soaked companion, but they've all received the message. The nun slowly steps forward, savoring every second of this spectacle.
あらあら、危機感のないいい子ちゃんばかりなのに、こういう時の反応はどこの国でも一緒なのね。
I want to be real, this doesn't feel like a very hero of justice thing to do. Madam, I want to be a hero of justice.
真夜中の台所に集まったネズミみたい。電気がついた途端、我先にと逃げ出すんだけど。ほら、かわいそう。こんな風にネズミ捕りに捕まって、あっさり踏み潰されちゃうの。
You are such a bundle of contradictions. Blood sprays into the air for the 3rd time this night. The menacing blade sets its sight on a nearby mark and comes swinging down on top of their head. This time the impact is devastating. There's nothing left of the skull as it bursts open. The blade runs through the victim's neck to the center of their torso.
はーい、注目。これからお姉さんが害獣駆除をするわけだけど、変な勘違いされるとイラッとくるので、あらかじめ説明しておきますね。まずはこの大部屋。
Yeah,
結
okay.
界を張ったの
No.
で、あなたたちは絶対に逃げられません。
Great.
窓から出ると溶けるから注意してね。
Oh, you literally trap room them.
次に私、何があろうと一匹も見逃さないので、私に命乞いをしても意味はありません。最後にあなたたち、助けを呼ぶ自由だけはあるので、助かりたかったら私にではなく神様にお祈りしてください。
I'm gonna be real, if this is Japan, you're not gonna get many of them doing that.
本当に神様がいて、あなたたちにそれだけの価値があるのなら、奇跡が起きて逃げられるよう世界は作られているはずです。
I feel like for your profession, though, you shouldn't say if he does exist. I feel like that is a he does exist thing, but okay. The holy woman removes her halberd from her last victim, now nothing more than a pile of flesh. And thus the panic that has taken hold of the captives reaches its peak. They run in all directions trying to get away from the nun, but their legs are like lead. This place has already been warded against vampires. The ward has no effect on humans, but for low-ranking dead apostles it feels like being trapped at the bottom of the ocean. Unable to run, their bodies grow slower by the second.
なんでステーガか用意しただろう。なんで逆に殺されるんだよ。
Oh my god, you're literally extorting them.
やめて、頭はやめて、足もやめてよ。痛い、なんでこんなに痛いの。嘘、やめて、そこから引っ張られたら魚みたいに真っ二つになっちゃう。
嘘ですよね、先生。助けてくれるって、僕だけは助けてくれるって言ったじゃないですか。いい子にしていれば見逃してくれるって。
Oh, there was one at the school. Oh, that's interesting. The nun's smile does not waver. She raises her halberd, its blade dripping with blood, and brings it down on the skull of her next prey. Her breathing grows ragged. It's as if she's excited by the scream extracted by the blow.
早くドア開けなさいよ。殺されるじゃない。もうクズがもたもたしてんじゃねえよ。あんな女外にさえ出れば簡単に無理です。ドアに触ると指が溶けて肘まで崩れちゃう。私溶けちゃってます。
I'm gonna be honest. Some of this voice acting is, I have a horrified expression on my face. You can't see it, but it's like, it's, you know, when you're so horrified by what's going on, your mouth is just kind of in an open smile. You're just like, what? That's where I'm at right now. Oh my god, dude.
祈ってたのにちゃんと神様に手を合わせて祈ってたじゃねえかこの人殺し、てめえのどこが失踪だ。
That's kind of funny. The nun sinks her blade into the back of the defenseless young man. Eyes bloodshot, she stops just short of cutting out his spasming spine.
君、今妙なこと口走らなかった？
That's scary.
人殺し？人殺しって何？あんたたちみたいな害獣を殺すことが人殺し？今まで散々人間を食い物にしてきたくせに自分のことを人間と思ってたの？
That's a lot of A's.
ごめんなさい。謝ります。謝りますから。
Wow. Wow. Okay. She's still going. Her screams utterly fill the room. The five, I was wondering if we were keeping count, and I think they are. The five remaining captives can do nothing but tremble as the horrific scene unfolds before them. The nun drops her weapon, then meticulously, relentlessly begins to torture her fallen prey. First, she uses a sacrament to restore... Wow! Oh, whoa! Okay. Okay. I think we're officially past the point of I can fix her? No, it's not happening. First, she uses a sacrament to restore his sense of pain. Great. Then she nails his eyelids open so he is forced to watch. Great. She strips him naked and flays him, exposing his innards. I don't want to press the A button. One by one, she cuts out his organs with her black keys. The pain that assails him is enough to make him wish for death. After removing all of his... We're still going. After removing all of his organs, she saws off his ears and nose. Upon seeing his own mutilated body, "Kill me," is all he can think to say. Oh my god! For her final act, she cracks open his skull and fills it with holy water. To a vampire, holy water may well be sulfuric acid. The brain shouldn't be able to feel pain, but the blessed liquid envelops her prey in an agony so complete that it transcends the senses, driving him mad. Oh my god! What? Kill me, kill me, kill me, he says over and over, a record player on repeat. I don't know if I like you anymore. The sister lets out a sigh that sounds out of place in this hell. She lifts her halberd with a grunt and destroys the endlessly looping phonograph.
失敗。あんまりにも面白いこと言われたから趣味に走っちゃった。 安心してみんな。今ので満足しちゃったし、あなたたちは適当で済ませるから。手抜き作業でごめんなさいね。
Your outfit had white elements to it before. I don't think it ever will again. The nun flashes the group a sweet smile. It is the final straw. They go into a frenzy, shrieking as they pound against the walls, even as the bounded field melts away their hands and feet. They are begging for freedom from the depths of their beings.
やだやだやだやだ、お願い、殺さないで殺さないで殺さないでください、神様。
お願いします。何でもします。何でもしますから。どうか私だけは。帰る。今度こそちゃんとお家に帰るから。助けてよお母さん。お母さん。お母さん。お母さん。
Oh no.
待ってよ。私はまだ誰も食べてない。昨日こいつらに襲われてまだ吸血鬼にもなってないのに、まだ一つもいい目に遭ってないのに、こんなのってな。
Well, I didn't hear a voice in there that sounded like Satsuki. One left, I swear to God. I swear to God. Perhaps tired from her efforts, the woman takes a moment to catch her breath. The sole survivor asks a question of the resting nun.
なんで俺たちだったんだ。
はい。
俺たちはただの雑兵だ。放っておいてもあと数日で餓死していた底辺の怪物だった。あんたみたいな掃除屋がわざわざ手を出す必要のないクズだ。なのにどうしてこんな助けてやるなんて希望を持たせて殺しやがった。
Is it because there ain't no hate like Catholic love? Ugh.
一人一人丁寧に散々怖がらせてさ、対向車ってのはもっと効率的で小物だけを狙うんじゃなかったのか。それでもお前は人間かよ。
The nun's eyes go wide at the vermin's unexpected rebuke. She is truly surprised, not by the fact that her prey is showing such incredible humanity.
あのね、弱い者が弱い者を襲うのは当たり前のことじゃないの。
but by the fact that it's asking her about something so obvious to any human.
自分より強い相手なんかと戦うわけがないでしょ。私は弱いから自分より弱いやつにしか手を出さない。これ人間社会じゃなくて生き物の一般常識よ。
じゃあお前が俺たちを集めたのは。
そう、都合よくストレスをぶつけられる相手が欲しかっただけよ。そんなの見てわかりなさいよ。
You might be irredeemable.
ああ、最悪。あなたたちって脳まで腐ってるのね。もしかしてクリームでも詰まってる？詰まってたのよね。そんな甘ったるい考えだから神様は助けてくれなかったのよ。
She delivers her final blow. The halberd slices through her prey's neck in one fell stroke, ending its life without suffering. Well, hey, I guess there's always a silver lining. Okay, well, After cleaning the room of all trace of the 14 corpses she had scattered across it, the nun goes outside. The excitement that coursed through her only moments ago has evaporated. She wears a dejected look on her face as she throws down her blood-stained halberd. With dead eyes, she lets out the air in her lungs. It is such a depressing sigh it sounds like her soul leaving her body.
雑魚どもをまとめて処理か。さすが下っ端。ドブさらいだけは慣れてるじゃねえか。
Hearing a voice behind her, the nun frantically arms herself. She's adept at picking off enemies weaker than her, but woefully inadequate when it comes to anything of equal or greater power. Her tendency is to handicap herself by imagining the worst-case scenario, a habit that prevents her from deploying her true strength. Even now, thoughts of the worst are already beginning to form in her mind. Though she has yet to see who the voice belongs to, the very thought of an unknown third party approaching is enough to chip away at her sanity.
ああ、あんだけの殺しをやっておいて何ブルってやがる。
Calm your tits.
落ち着けよメス豚。てめえにとっちゃ神に等しい上司様だっつの。
Dang.
司祭代行。
Relieved, the nun relaxes her shoulders and lowers her halberd. But the knot of tension in her chest remains. She understands the danger that she is still in.
これは正当な討伐です。ドアをいぶり出すにはまず血液を集める兵隊を更迭する必要が。
知ってるよ。いちいち弁明すんな。初めっから見てたからな。スコアを報告しなくてもいい。だがまあ、ちょいとやりすぎだな。
Oh, yeah? Yeah, was it the point where she gave the zombie back its sense of pain?
使徒どもに懺悔の機会なんぞを与えやがったのは見なかったことにする。代行者の殺し方はそれぞれだからな。問題は死体の数だ。中にはまだなりきれてない犠牲者もいたように見えたがね。
いいえ、あれは吸血鬼より始末が悪いものです。あの少女は人間であるにもかかわらず、自分から奴らに協力して犠牲者を増やしていましたから、当然の末路です。
はあ、チキンなてめえにしちゃ冷徹な判断だ。吸血鬼に関わった人間は皆殺しってわけか。そいつは頼もしい。
何のご用でしょうか、司祭代行。定期連絡はしていますし、私の単独行動は許可されているのではないのですか？
ああ、奇跡会と埋葬機関は別管轄だ。てめえがシエルの相棒である以上、俺たちは対等だった。
Oh. She's not anymore.
だったとは
Yeah.
どういうことでしょうか？
代行者シエルはてめえとのコンビを解くとよ。
Huh.
できうる限り早くてめえを引き取れなんて言ってきやがった。
Huh.
なんで近いうちにてめえは俺の預かりだが、スコアも悪い、精神も不安定な不良物件を使うほど間抜けじゃねえ。
I mean, if Mario can, like, I don't know, send her to therapy or give her proper medication, maybe she can be better, right? You know, we learn and we laugh and we love and we get better. Maybe, hopefully, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna make her
この一件
worse.
が終わり次第、てめえは修道院送りだ。今のうちに身辺整理をしておけよ。
You know what? Before I was like, oh no, don't send her. No. I think some time in a convent is a good idea. Hey, did you know that I've been to a convent? I have family members who are nuns, and I taught a nun how to use the computer. So, like, straight up, I am so Nasuverse pilled. The convent. An institution for the faithful who have chosen to lead a communal life under the teachings of the Church, away from the secular world. Just as the Holy See is the smallest country in the world, each convent operates as its own isolated little world. This is true. Once a nun takes her vow, she pledges to live out her life at the convent and becomes a member of the community. Separated from the outside world by a single wall, she lives as a child of the Father, abiding by the teachings of frugality, chastity, and obedience. Hey, the second of those is probably a good idea for her. I think that's a good idea. They can still have fun. The nuns that I knew, they were given lifetime passes to the football stadium they lived by. So they would go to football, they would, cheer on the team, they would pray for them for victory. It is a fine existence for those who seek it. However, for those who do not, being forced to live in the closed-off world of the convent is akin to torture. No, I can see that too. Did you know some convents have bowling alleys? You've seen a nun bowl? It's quite a sight. There's a reason that Noelle could not become anything but an executor. So it is as an executor that she would be re-educated if she were sent back to the convent. The brutal training she survived when she was younger is something she does not believe she can go through again. But worse than anything, being sent there would mean undergoing a full body examination. Okay. For executors. What? For executors, chastity is not determined by one's virginity, but the purity of their human body. What are we talking about? Are we gonna turn her into a robo nun? So right now, that examination is something she has to avoid at all costs. Oh, wait, no. Is it implying that they'd examine her and go, dang girl, you're a vampire? Is that what it's getting at?
待ってください。私は常に最善を尽くしています。対向車として何の問題もありません。さももなく修道院送りなんて、そんな横暴は許されないはずです。
ああ、てめえみたいな凡人の最善なんて知らねえよ。いいか、ここは通勤時間のある事務職じゃねえ。殺し合いの最前線だ。無能なやつも無能じゃないだけの凡人も等しく足手まといなんだよ。有能なやつにしか居場所のない世界だっていい加減諦めとけ。夢見る年々じゃあるまいし、今年で何歳だよてめえは。
That's a good question. She quells the defiance that flares up inside her. A hatred far greater than that she felt during her cleanup earlier reared its head, but she pushed it back down with all her might. This boy is weaker than she is. He's just some 12-year-old kid. She could turn him into mincemeat with a swing of her halberd. However, he has far too many connections, far too much power for her to defy him. If she ever wants to be better than mediocre, she has no choice but to curry his favor. See, I was like, curry? Curry? It's like, no, that's just a phrase.
ですが、代行者シエルだけには任せておけません。彼女の行動は不審極まります。ロア探索の手を止めているばかりか、私を切り捨てて一人になることに危ういものを感じます。司祭代行も彼女の経歴はご存知でしょ。彼女はキャーンズです。なら今拘束すべきは私ではなく。
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 15, right? That's 15, I'm pretty sure. Right? 15? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Am I confused? Why don't I just Google it? What am I doing? I haven't taught French in years. I haven't spoke French in years. That is 15. Heck yeah. Right? 15. Okay. Do they mean the 15th? Is that what we're getting at?
あの女が吸血鬼もどきってことだろ。嫌っていうほど知ってるから安心しろ。いいんだよ、あの女はあれで。単独で動こうが上の意向に逆らおうが関係ねえ。何があろうとあいつはロアを殺す。
Confused.
そういう風にしか動けない女だ。
I thought he was there when Roa was killed. In a rare moment, he drops his usual foul attitude and speaks maturely. The boy's voice rings faintly with resignation.
いいからてめえは荷物をまとめて待機してやがれ。2日もあれば辞令が届くからな。くだらねえ手間を増やさせるんじゃねえぞ。三下は何も考えず黙ってギーギー回ってればいいんだよ。
You know, something out there makes me think she's gonna resist this. I wonder what that something is, but we're just gonna not talk about it. With one last tirade, the boy leaves the back alley. Only the blood-splattered nun remains. After making sure that the boy has indeed left, she picks up her weapon and swings it into a discarded steel beam with all her might.
何よあの楽器。何なのよ言いたい放題。子供のくせに大人を舐めるんじゃないっての。
Oh, girl. The clanging of metal does not come just once. She swings a total of 8 times, hurling curses not meant for human ears. She's saying cuss words. The steel beam is completely crushed, now just a pitiful wreck, a sculpture perfectly portraying rage. Woman lets go of the halberd, her shoulders heaving. She has overexerted herself. Lacking the physical strength to lift her weapon on her own, she typically casts a sacrament each time she swings it to reduce its own weight. Oh, cool. But this time she swung away with nothing but raw fury. She laughs dryly at this desperate, self-destructive act that may very well have snapped the muscles in her arms.
バカね。何やってるのよ私。あの怪物じゃあるまいし、こんなでっかい自分の力だけで振り回せるはずないのに。
Still, her anger does not subside. The situation has changed. She knows that she needs to stay calm and devise a countermove, but her heart refuses to cooperate. Then at this of all times, because it is time, a nightmarish spasm runs through her body. Oh, she's turning! Oh, okay, it's happening now. Oh, okay. She crumples as her insides assail her. She kneels on the ground, digging her fingers into the dirt as she clings on to her current self. Nausea comes over her, accompanied by a terrifying chill that freezes her to the bone. Though she has never experienced it herself, she imagines this is what morning sickness must feel like. But the imaginary child in her womb is surely not human.
さないと早く吸血鬼を殺さないと。私がダメになる前にルアを探し出して殺さないといけないのに。あと2日あと2日しかないの。でも
A weak voice inside her posits that she might not even have that much time. Her back feels like it's about to split open. She puts a dirt-covered hand to her mouth to hold down whatever it is that threatens to burst out of her stomach.
大丈夫。神様は見てくれてる。 私
Um,
はいい子にしてたもの。
I don't think you have been.
助けてもらえる。
No,
私は何も悪いことなんかしてない。
no, you did some no things. You did some bad things. Again, you're not as innocent as you think. I'll kill some more vampires tonight. I'll kill even more vampires tomorrow. That way I'll be saved. I'll find salvation. I'll find the revenge I've been chasing for 13 years. Okay, you have something going on in your past.
そうよノエル。私は代行者になった。このために強くなった。あんなガキにもあんな女にも思い通りになんかさせるもんか。
Still shivering from the cold, she forces herself back onto her feet. The nun picks up her halberd with brute strength and leaves the makeshift execution site, a twisted smile plastered on her face. Okay. Yeah. No. It's funny because I've had many people say, "Oh, Mario's so bad," and I'm like, I don't know. He's been kind of okay so far, and I've heard no one really complain about Noel, and now I'm like, It's 12 a.m. I slink back into my room in the middle of the night while everyone is sleeping. Weird that line was considered old. Sneaking out and back in is starting to feel more familiar. I change into my pajamas and crawl into bed. Immediately, drowsiness takes me. My brain must be tired after how much I've used my mystic eyes, even though I don't feel that bad physically. I take off my glasses, set them next to my pillow, and close my eyes.
あれ、何か考え事があった気がするんだけど。
I give in to sleep. An unpleasant floating sensation washes over me. I manage to clamp down on it as I fall asleep and release my grip on my consciousness. Are you gonna read again? I tear off my covers and get back out of bed. The leftover energy in my body is keeping me awake, while my mind is desperate for respite, a slow feeling of torture. I love that you can hear the sound of his feet just plapping all over the floor as he runs around. There's nothing to do but go over to the sunroom. Hisui and Kohaku would notice if I turn on the lights in my room, but the light from the sunroom can only be seen from outside. I'll just grab another book tonight and look at the words until I get sleepy. Oh. 1989 AD. Oh boy. I know whose backstory this is. I was born into this world, the child of a shopkeeper in the French countryside. With the East Asian features I inherited from my mother, I grew up feeling like a foreigner in my own town. I didn't know about that. I feel like that wasn't in the original. It could have been, and I've completely forgot it, because as people's comments have pointed out, I have forgot most of Tsukihime. Even so, the townspeople were amiable folk, always welcoming me with a smile. To repay their kindness, I did my best to live my life positively and honestly. I helped my father, went to school, dreamed about the future. As many children do, I struggled with puberty, which came early for me. But I never doubted that I was fortunate. I knew I was privileged with a rather charmed life. But time passed by so quickly, and suddenly my 12th birthday was upon me. Abruptly, a change came over me. Sometimes when playing with my friends, I would have this sudden desire to snap their slender necks. Sometimes when I saw a beggar at the side of the road, I might imagine stabbing their malnourished stomach for the fun of it. The impulses came without warning and followed no pattern. I would unexpectedly find my head filled with violent thoughts, but just as I was about to act on them, I would remember my own name and run away with my face in my hands, holding back the scream in my throat and the tears in my eyes. I was healthy of body, sound of mind, and held no hatred for anyone. Yet whenever I was faced with something within my power to destroy, I felt compelled to try, and I would find my face contorted with joy at the idea. I became afraid of going outside, afraid of people, afraid of myself. I was terrified of the joy that swelled within me with every passing day, but I could tell no one about it, so I grew more reclusive day by day until I stopped leaving my room altogether. I kept my composure to the very end. Had I developed a split personality? Was I possessed by someone else's spirit? I never once entertained such unscientific notions. In the end, my conclusion was that these were the same fleeting invasive thoughts that everyone shared, which, I'm gonna be real, not wrong, right? And I stand by this. It is, I feel, completely normal to have these invasive thoughts, right? Like, what she's saying, like, you know, like, what if you were to just grab their neck? Like, what if you just, like, I feel like those are things that I think we all do feel, right? Now, the part that's abnormal is the joy that comes from thinking about it. But again, if you're not acting on it, then there's at least that, right? Sure would be nice if that's where it ended. Might complain when my father came to wake me after I'd stayed up late the night before. I might get upset after being splashed with water by a passing car while I walked down the main street after heavy rainfall. These impulses were no different, small internal rebellions that momentarily took over. But while perhaps other people could control them, I was never someone who could go against their own heart. I knew it was only a matter of time before I ended up doing something that I couldn't take back. All I could do was lock myself up in my room. I was dead set on living out my days doing nothing and meeting no one. That way I wouldn't have the chance to get angry about anything or build resentment for anyone. So I thought. I should have feared myself less, trusted God more, and turned to a priest for advice. Specifically a priest with an eye patch and like robot parts. That'd be really cool. Hiding away in the prison I'd made of my room wore away at my soul until eventually I reached a breaking point. It's ending there, are you serious? Oh no. That day, with myself fully transformed into someone else, an innocuous thought came to mind. That I was thirsty. Slowly, I dragged my weakened body out of my room. My parents, who were relaxing in the living room, came rushing to me as I emerged for the first time in a month. My father greeted me, concern in his voice. My mother smiled, tears welling in her eyes. I killed them both. It was all too easy. My body was still weak, still thirsty, but I had the strength to bite down on my parents' throats and drink. After draining them both of blood and life, I stood up.
素晴らしい。この肉体は過去最高の才能だ。
Oh wow, you're pretending to do his voice. An unfamiliar voice spoke with my tongue. The thing that was once me had painted its mouth red and wrapped its own body in an embrace. What providence was this? Typically, the vessels I reincarnate into are all chosen in advance. First, they must possess authority in the land of their birth. Second, their family must possess some unique talent. The first condition is the more important, the second merely supplementary. My primary task is to find a family line fulfilling the first condition and set it as the destination of my next reincarnation. However, in my previous life, the princess killed me before I could make my decision. Instead, I was forced to abridge the process and rely on astrology to guide me, which is how I ended up with this body, belonging to the child of a middle-class family with low social standing. I knew it would be challenging to take control of the town under these circumstances. Building influence in the few years I had before the princess found me was next to impossible, but I did not despair. If anything, I felt euphoric, as if my body was brimming with light. When weighing lineage against talent, I had always chosen the former. As a consequence, my hosts had never physically excelled. But this time was different. This body possessed magic circuits in such abundance and quality, they could generate more magical energy than 100 mages. Even the most talented mages would be considered defective compared to this. I could only laugh at the miscalculations of my past generations. All this time my conditions were backwards. Authority and influence can be acquired with time. However, a truly outstanding body is a gift one must be born with by the grace of the Lord. It was not until my 15th, we've heard that number, reincarnation that I finally realized this truth. After I awoke, I set about transforming the town into a necropolis, as quietly and as inevitably as water seeps through the dry soil. I abandoned the disorderly methods I had previously employed. This time I proceeded gently, taking care not to spill too much blood at once. I was careful and methodical. Within a single night, the town was mine. From there, I painstakingly and lovingly built my castle from the ground up. I would not let a single human escape, but nor would I let them die unnecessarily. First, I neatly frosted the cake with despair, then, little by little, sneering all the while, decorated it with jam and jelly and meat in resplendent fashion. It wasn't the most efficient process, but there was nothing that could be done about that. My reincarnated consciousness cannot exist on its own. I myself am nothing more than knowledge and drive. My personality is reconstructed for each new generation, based on the character and values of my host. Though I have control over my vessel, its thought processes and norms do not change entirely. In other words, my body belongs to my reincarnated self, but my original self remains. It retains its consciousness and memories, but it slumbers amidst the nightmare of its own creation from which it cannot wake. Which is why I remember. I remember the feeling of biting into my parents' throats. I remember the days I spent tormenting the souls of the townspeople who once smiled at me, slowly melting them down one by one. All in all, it took only a week. In a week, I held the lives of everyone in this town in the palm of my hand, mine to play with for my own amusement. I wished to lose all reason, go insane, and yield everything to my impulses. But if I did, I knew that I would only commit even worse atrocities. I had to hold on. If I maintained my sanity, at least I could limit the harm I could do. Destruction is close at hand now. Not of this town, but of something much greater. I find myself rejoicing that my magnum opus is coming to fruition. For this reason I have chased eternity. For this reason I have collected the blood of so many. For this reason, others like myself, masters of far greater necropoles, have converged on this town. Before long, my consciousness will flicker out. Tonight, a world would end, but I would fade away before I could see it. Cursed to the last. Wait, what? I don't remember this. This is new. If this nightmare had one saving grace, it would be that its end came quickly. I feel this is new. Oh. Hello, Archetype Earth. The pale woman arrived with the crimson moon. I don't know who she is, and yet I do. The sixth ritual begin. Oh! That's not good. With this body, I believed it possible that I would finally have that woman in white. And then, the profane ceremony was brought to a halt. The white vampire princess and I did battle, ending in my demise. While with my next reincarnation already prepared, I transmigrated, leaving only my corpse behind. The woman departed, and my body was brought to the Holy See. I don't remember them doing the sixth ritual. That's the big bad one, right? That's the one that like causes the end of everything, right? I'm pretty sure. Arc in CL, that means rainbow in French. It's also the pun of where their names come from. Let's do a bit more. I'm real curious. Real curious. What? Hello. The field. Okay. I spring into a sitting position like an alarm has just gone off. My eyes start up as I try to swallow the urge to vomit, burning at the back of my throat. It feels as if my entire body is covered in something red and sticky. I'm sweating profusely. I must have had a particularly horrible nightmare. Yeah, some kind of bad dream. I wipe away the sweat that had formed on my brow and finally start to calm down. Must have been the book I read before I fell asleep. Can't recall what it was about, but I remember the detail. The makeup of my body, the tools that were used. It all felt more real than any dream I've ever had. This is bad. I'm feeling nauseous again. Best not to think about it anymore. Feels like something I shouldn't dwell on. As a famous doctor once said, dreams are doomed to be forgotten. Not unless you write them on your Discord dream journal channel, where you write about things like how last night you dreamt about Alex Lee voice actor inviting you to join him on a stream, but it was like 3 a.m. in your time zone, so you're like could barely convince yourself to get out of bed to join him. I think he was playing Link to the Past, which was a very weird choice for me, but it's fine. I shake my head to clear away the remnants of the dream. I'm thirsty. My arms and legs are still heavy from sleep, but I should get changed and head to the bathroom. Washing my face and drinking some water will help both my nausea and my thirst. Yo, we got that clean tap water? Hell yeah. Delicious, delicious tap water. As I change out of my pajamas and into my uniform, I hear a soft knock on my door.
おはようございます、四季様。
Once again, our lack of glasses is concerning.
失礼しました。今朝もお目覚めになられていたのですね。
Yeah, I'm on that shiki male grind set.
ほんの少し前にね。でも起こしに来てくれてありがとう。
It takes some time since my fingers are a bit numb, but I managed to get my shirt buttoned.
四季様、お着替えを済ませたばかりですが、今日はお休みになられてはいかがでしょう。
Huh. Hisui usually doesn't offer her opinion unasked.
いや、休まないよ。だって学校に行かないとシエ。
I stop myself before I say Ciel's name. I was close. I shudder to imagine the kind of interrogation Akia would put me through if she'd heard that.
なんでもない。それよりなんで今日は屋敷で催し物でもあるのか。
いいえ。四季様のお顔の色が今朝は特に優れないように見えたので。
ああ、それは大丈夫。ちょっと夢見が悪くて気分が悪かったんだ。それも顔を洗えば戻るから心配しないでくれ。朝食だろ。洗面所で顔を洗ったらすぐに行くよ。
かしこまりました。ロビーで控えていますので、何かありましたらお声をかけてください。
Hisui leaves with a bow. I should get going too. I grab my bag and my glasses, then leave my room so brightly lit by the morning sun. The cold water does little to relieve my headache. No, I can't. If I don't go to school, I won't be able to see low green. See low green. Nothing. I have no reflect. You what? That's a vampire thing, bucko. Full second go by. Then I realize the mirror above the sink is gone. Oh. Don't do that to me. Why are you still not wearing glasses, friend? I go to the lobby where Hisui is waiting for me. Perfect. I can tell her about the mirror.
翡翠、2階の洗面所鏡がないんだけど、どうして外してるんだ。
申し訳ありません。私の手違いで廃棄してしまいました。
Wait.
新しいものを用意していますので、四季様がお帰りになられる頃には。
Oh no! Wait! He broke it yesterday! And then she's covering, saying like, don't worry, I made a mistake, we'll get a new one. Oh my god, she's covering. Oh, alright then. Content with her answer, I make my way to the dining room. With my nausea gone, my appetite has returned. I'm looking forward to the breakfast Kohaku's made for me today too. Alas, reality is cruel. Could be that I'm not in the mood for Western food this morning, but one bite and I feel like throwing up again. That feel when British cuisine, am I right?
申し訳ありません。お口に合わないものをお出ししてしまって、すぐに代わりのものをご用意いたしますね。
I swear to God, if he's like, just give me bacon! Kohaku quickly prepares a traditional breakfast for me, but I can't stomach it either. I guess it's not the taste that's the problem. My body just can't handle any food right now. Maybe I should have taken Isui's advice and stayed in bed all day. It's not too late, buddy.
今一度チャンスをください、四季さん。私の信念に反しますが、最終兵器、塩と梅しか使わないお粥を投入しますから。
There'll be rice in that too, right?
いや、謝るのは俺の方だよ、琥珀さん。これは胃の調子が悪いっぽい。流動食でも無理だろうから、ビタミン剤か何かあったらもらえる。あと、できれば頭痛止め。
Yeah, give me the little Flintstone ones, please.
お任せください。お薬でしたら私の領分ですもの。ではでは、ビタミン剤は糖分多めで、頭痛止めはそうですね。いい機会ですし、遠野家の方たちご愛用のものをお持ちしますね。
Is that the name of your self-made strain? You know? Got high CBD? Kohaku would love weed. I have multiple videos of her saying she loves weed. The medicine Kohaku gives me works wonders. It's weed. The heaviness in my arms and legs is gone, and my head feels like it never hurt at all. Can I just say the one thing I'm really sad about being in China? There is no, like, marijuana products. At least that I know of. I know it's, like, super hyper mega illegal here. But, like, I'm gonna be real. Just having, like, a roller for a headache. Like, I would never smoke. I don't even eat, right? But creams and rollers that you just put on the skin, and it's just like, it's so nice. It's the best. I do miss that quite a bit. Do I miss it so much I'm willing to do crazy stuff and break law? No! No, I'll just wait till I go back to Canada. Anyways, the heaviness in my arms and legs gone, my head feels like it never hurt at all. I wanted to have a rack examine me too, just in case, but she's not in today. You know, for some reason that's even more concerning she's not in. Apparently she has to work elsewhere today. And left the mansion early.
秋葉は、そっか。もう登校しちゃったか。
That took too much time for breakfast. It's 7:30. I'll be tardy if I don't hurry.
行ってくるよ、翡翠。帰りは夕方になる。
She looks so concerned. Her look of concern still has not faded.
だからもう大丈夫だって。琥珀さんに薬ももらったし、風邪っぽいと思ったら早退するから。
いえ、そうではなくて、
Are you gonna say it? That he's not wearing his glasses?
今朝はメガネをおかけになら
There
ない
we
んですか。
go. Her words make me slap a hand to my face. I don't have my glasses on. Preoccupied with how I was feeling, I completely forgot about them. I must look different than usual. More closer to how I look in the fighting games.
そういえばそうだった。これでいいかな。
I think the insane thing is, he had them on him. Oh, I thought it was a I left them beside my bed sort of thing. Oh no, he actively put it in his pocket and ooh.
いいえ、別にかけていなければいけないと言いたかったのではなく、
Huh.
メガネをかけていない四季様を見るのは珍しいことですので。
That is true. I've always avoided taking my glasses off in front of people so as not to look at them with my bare eyes. You know, the thing you've been doing yesterday and today. I just haven't been very good at it these past few days.
お時間を取らせて失礼いたしました。いってらっしゃいませ、四季様。どうかお早いお帰りを。
Boy, it's bright. Hisui sees me off as I step outside, squinting against the sun shining brightly overhead. I look up at the clear blue sky. Buddy, I see lots of clouds. What are you talking about?
よし。とにかく一日の始まりだ。
I take a deep breath and fill my lungs with fresh air. It erased the last of my nausea and headache. Good. I should have no trouble going to school like this. I leave the Tono Mansion at a brisk pace, determined to see Seal as soon as physically possible. Swear to God, if she's there building a fence, very exciting. She won't be. I'm almost 90% certain the fence is not going to be in the game. Because what a weird scene that she's just like, yep, I'm just fixing a fence. Okay. I think it's meant to be like a trestle or something, like a thing for plants, but still, it looks like a little fence for like gnomes to keep the gnomes out of the school. It looks like I'll make it to class before homeroom starts. That's the wrong button. The vague hope that CL will be hanging out in my classroom again today floats through my mind as I hop up the stairs. And ask and ye shall receive. The person I see climbing the stairs right before my eyes is none other than CL herself.
おっシエル先輩
This miracle of good timing has made me lose my senses, apparently. I make a wild attempt to charge up the stairs, slip my hands under her arms, and pick her up.
何事ですか？
ごは
Oh. Does she have eyes on the back of her head? She effortlessly evades my sneak attack. I, on the other hand, am sent crashing into the wall by momentum, unable to even touch her.
遠野くんでしたか。人が変わったような朝の挨拶でしたが、何か深い意味があったりするんでしょうか。
I'm gonna be real? I'm not sure what's up with him.
いえ別に朝から先輩の顔を見られた喜びでどうかしていただけです
Just had a hashtag man moment. I answer her calmly, adjusting my glasses. Wait, on second thought, even I have to admit that was weird.
はあ、それはどうも。
You ever just like get kind of close to a girl, then just completely blow your spaghetti out of your pocket in front of her, thus ruining the relationship forever? And even though she's like, we can still be friends, you really don't, and everything's changed, and you find out she's blocked you on a lot of social media? Anyway, but maybe my nonchalant attitude worked in my favor. It seems like CL's the one who's feeling sorry. Or not. Now she looks really angry.
すみません一方的に俺が悪かったです先輩を見たらついいたずらしたくなったというか
いえいえ、朝から元気なことは結構です。このぐらいの狼藉、普段の行いに比べれば大したことはありませんし。
Hey, what do you mean by that?
おはようございます、遠野くん。無茶ばかりして、体と頭は大丈夫ですか？
CL pairs her lovely greeting with an equally lovely smile. I give her a good morning back. The look on her face makes me feel a certain kind of pressure, but I ignore it. I can't take that smile for granted.
もうすぐホームルームなので失礼しますね。あ、そうだ。お昼休み、茶道室に来てください。ぜひお話ししたいことがあるので。絶対ですよ。いろいろ準備をして待ってますから。
A little memory in my brain is saying that this is actually not a good surprise.
準備だって
Buddy, you're literally making anime sparkle sound effects. She spoke in such a sugary sweet tone like her sentence was punctuated with a heart emoji. I replay what she said in my head over and over. Buddy, she did! It was a little uncharacteristic for CL to talk that way. Maybe it was her way of getting back at me for the tackle I attempted, but it doesn't matter. I liked it. Her invitation is so enticing that I don't even think to question that there might be something behind it. Bro is thinking with his head, and not the one on the top half of his body. Walk into my classroom to find myself in a lawless land. The bell for homeroom is rung, but nobody's at their desks. People are all over the place, chatting away wherever they please.
よーし、おはようさ。
Are you...
参ったね、どうも。風邪気味だよ、俺。もう帰りたい。
I'm assuming you're like rocking back in a chair, but you could also just be lying straight on a desk.
おはようさ安定のやる気のなさで安心したよところでこれどういうこと
一次元目のノエル先生が風邪で休みなんだとよ。なんで、うちの番が来るまで自習なんだと。
Dang, that's not usually how it works.
ますます状況がわからないうちの番ってなんだ
だから予防接種の注射だろ。
Oh.
1週間前にノエル先生が。ってそうか。あの日お前早退してたっけ？
Hi guys, welcome to the COVID episode.
体調を崩す生徒が例年より多いんで特別に決まったんだよ。1年は昨日、2年は今日ってわけ。
Wow. The school made a decision to vaccinate the students. Do you understand the amount of complaints that would come if this was in North America? Holy crap. It must have been the day I met Arkwood. Apparently, they announced the vaccination after classes ended. The fact it's opt out and not opt in is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Wow. I don't know if this is Nasu just like not knowing how schools work now anymore. But if that's a real thing in Japan right now, wow. Our turn comes during second period. We form a line outside the nurse's office and wait. Normally we go in 5 at a time, but for some reason today they're calling us in 1 by 1. Arihiko has already gone home, complaining that it's a pain in the ass and he doesn't like getting shots. You'll get used to it.
僕ちゃんは合格かな？はーい。ちょっと痛いお注射しまったか
Oh
ら我慢
no.
してね。
Oh no, this school needs to screen who gets in. Oh no. Oh my god, you... Oh, okay. I can hear the doctor's voice coming from the nurse's office. Maybe it's because this was organized on short notice, but who's ever in there doesn't sound like the elderly doctor we usually get.
僕ちゃんは健康ね。
Stop.
はーい。全然痛くないお注射しますから、適当に天井のシミでも数えてましょうね。
Wait, are you normal to most people and it's only Shiki who, like, emits a gas that makes all of the groomers in the area flock to him? I've heard enough of this cloying voice to know who it belongs to.
はーい、次のサンプルちゃん、どうぞ。
Sample-chan, that's pretty funny. I entered the nurse's office. And sure enough, the funky doctor, funky doctor, who has absolutely no place being in this school, is sitting there before me. Ma'am, you cannot dress like that in a school. Oh my god.
アラク博士。
あら、坊ちゃんたらここの生徒だったの？私びっくり。もしかしてこれ運命の赤い糸ってやつかしら？いやーん、困っちゃう。これで遠野家の財産独り占めじゃん。あ、でもうっかりラブダイブしちゃったらトシちゃんに殺されちゃう。ダメダメ、それ美味しくない。
Okay, you couldn't hear me. I was doing a deep inhale there. Didn't get picked up on the mic. I would never have guessed that this was the reason she wasn't at the Tono Mansion this morning. So, she really is a doctor, huh?
なんて嘘嘘。初めから知ってたっていうの。
Of course you did. How would you not know? Of course.
学校でお医者さんプレイとか私も初めてだし。
Playing doctor.
背徳的っていうの？何にせよ初物は最高よね。ここならトーシちゃんの目も届かないし。では出席番号13番、東野四季君。観念して座りたまえ。
13, huh?
逃げたら内申書に罰つけるぞ。
13. That's a bad number. Arak casually threatens me as she prepares the injection. Reacting to her every jibe would only egg her on, so I remain silent as I sit down and stick out my right arm.
なんという冷静なスルー。マジかよ。しばらく見ないうちに大きくなっちゃって。やっぱり人間の成長速度って偉大よね。生き急いでるようで悲しいけど。
Please don't use the word humans, because it kind of is a self-report.
さて、しきちゃんはどっちがいいかしらね。やっぱりこっち？どっち？パンチ？ウィンチ？
予防接種に種類があるんですか？
Yeah, I'll just take the Pfizer, please.
あるわよ。私、被験者にも選択の自由はあるべきだと思う派だし。細くてあんまり痛くないけど効果が高いものと、
Okay. That sounds good.
ぶっとくてすっごく痛いけど効果が薄いのがあるんだけど。
That sounds...
しきちゃんはどっちが好みかしら？
This sounds stupid. This is making me kind of nervous for some reason. That's not much of a choice, but I have to pick... Wait. More effective... Wait. Which doesn't hurt, but is really effective. Thin doesn't hurt, effective. Hurts a lot, isn't effective. Take the more effective one that doesn't, less effective that hurts. That's the opposite! Right? Less effective that hurts. No, it's not. Hurts a lot. Okay. Less effective one that hurts. Let's be a freak. I'm feeling freaky Tono. Make me feel pain. Hurt me.
じゃあ痛くて効かないものを。
They say if it tastes bad, it must be good for you, but this injection is the opposite. My curiosity is piqued. Oh boy.
え、本当？こっち使っていいの？こんなのんけの美少年に？うわ、やば、私
I don't like that face!
間違いなくサソリ座の女の運勢来ちゃってる。局地的な自信を起こしちゃう。だってほら、もう体のバイブスマックスだし。
You really shouldn't be out of school. How did you get past the metal detectors? There's something inside you right now. Oh my god!
ああ、でもさすがにトースちゃんに悪いか。
I'm sorry. Did she almost ascend?
やっぱり普通のにしとかない？予防接種は大事だけど、私の場合やりすぎると大事になっちゃうし。
How big is this needle?
ええ、そう。今ならまだ間に合うわ。気を落ち着けてボタンを外して急いで洗濯をやり直して。なんて好きやりもらった。
That's not how you give a needle. She moves in lightning fast. Disinfect, stab, inject. Why the tongue? Smile. Oh, she finished. Yep, she finished. What? Professor Rack finished. She sure frickin' did. Finishes the vaccination in 10 seconds flat. Then puts the apparatus, which doesn't look like your average single-use syringe, into a case with a strange design. How did she get in? You know what? It's fine. I've accepted this school doesn't. This school just doesn't. Just lets anyone in. They'll take it.
あまりの痛みに腰抜けちゃった。しきちゃんのバージン奪っちゃった。
What? I'm sorry, was this urethral? Was this a urethral injection? Straight up the vas deferens?
よちよち、一人で立てまちんか？ならそこのベッドまで連れて行ってあげまちゅね。その後は悪いところを取り出す手術とかやっちゃう。麻酔なしのゴリゴリのオペレーションになっちゃうけど。
Why the One Piece face? Why the One Piece face? Does your middle name have D in it, perhaps? Dr. Arak reaches her hands towards me, her fingers wiggling and writhing. But how do I put this?
全然痛くなかったです。
I braced myself for the pain, but none came. The only thing that hurt was Professor Arak's incessant babbling.
嘘！あ、本当だ。脈も瞳孔も異常なし。なんて当たり前だっつーの。だって今のインフルエンザの予防接種じゃなくてただの栄養剤だから。私特製のビタミン剤を食らうといいのだわ。
Hey, you should still give me the flu shot though, right?
なんだってそんなことを。
だってしきちゃん、ここのところ精力的に活動してるんでしょ。なら体力はつけておかないと。
Sorry, what do you mean this part?
どうせもう予防接種なんて間に合わないんだし。
What? Oh no. Oh no, she knows. What an odd thing to say. But just as I'm about to ask her to clarify,
時間切れ。次の子が来ちゃったわ。
Surprised, I look at the clock. Almost 7 minutes have gone by since I sat down. Everyone before me only took about 3 minutes each, so it makes sense the next student would come in. I fix my clothes and leave the nurse's office. As I do,
それじゃあね、当のしきくん。どうなるか楽しみにしていたけど。まあ、失敗することにも意味はあるものね。
what is she up to? Her strange remark stops me in my tracks. But only for a second. This has to be more of her usual crazy talk. On the other side of the curtain, Professor Rex's long hair sways, like a spider hanging from its web. It is the most absolutely blatant thing. Alright, there are 2 different scenes, but we'll see if it moves on to a new one. Or if it'll go back to kind of original. If it actually matters. Okay, it does go back. Let's just see what happens if we pick that other one there. You know what? I don't need this one. Let's just load. And do this one here. Okay, what if we pick the other one? Is it gonna matter? I want it to hurt.
痛くなくて効果がある方をお願いします。
しきちゃんたら遊びがない。でも仕方ないか。患者さんの決断は絶対厳守が私のプライドだし。はーい、ちょっとチクッとするけど我慢してね。
Okay. Despite the dissatisfaction on Professor Rack's face, she carries out the injection deftly.
注射慣れしてるでしょ。ほら、私博士だけどナース服も大好きですし、メスの感触もしびれちゃうけど、お注射のドクドク注入しちゃう感じとかたまらないじゃない？
Calling yourself a professor over and over and like not being a teacher, or sorry, like a sensei means both, but not being a doctor is concerning.
で無言で席を立つとかしきちゃんひどくない？
いや、後が使えてますから。雑談はまた次の機会に。
I don't mean to be rude, but second period will be over by the time Iraq's done talking my ear off. I fix my clothes and leave the nurse's office. As I do,
私も仕事が入ってるから次の機会とかないんだけどね。
wait,
そのあたりはいっか。
we don't get the weird injection in this one?
確かに後は使えてるし、楽しい日々はもうおしまい。ぬるい休憩はいい加減ここまでかもね。
I want to do the other one then. I want the weird injection. Her ominous remarks stop me in my tracks. But only for a second. It's been more of her usual crazy talk. Sways like a spiderweb, yeah. No, I want the weird injection. Okay, even though that's looking like it's going to give us a separate, like it's the same, we're now the same scene, right? But there absolutely is a different flag that's approaching here, right? For sure. So let's get the weird injection on the off chance that that is actually good for us. Hello? Okay, there we go. I had to press A for some reason. Uh-huh. After an eternity of waiting, it's finally time. I don't think the morning classes have ever gone by so slowly. It's no exaggeration to say that each second felt like 10, but in the end, my patience prevailed. I made it to lunch without even faltering, let alone fainting, so I marched to the battleground in perfect condition.
いや、まずは購買部だ。昼休みなんだから昼食を持っていかないと。
Smart
全然
man.
払いもあり得るぞ。
I'll get my own lunch, of course, but I should get something for CL too. Our relationship is probably past the point of me needing to present an offering, but I don't see any harm in going the extra mile today. I hit the brakes on my desire to go straight to the tea ceremony room and try to keep my cool as I head for the school store. Injection writhing around inside me. I knock on the door of the tea ceremony room. CL would always come out to greet me here, but today seems to be different.
あ、遠野くんですね。すみません。今ちょっと手が離せなくて、遠慮せず入っちゃってください。
CL's dulcet tones ring out from inside the room. I have no idea what she's preparing, but her unusual cheer radiates a warm light. I'm sure that the moment I slide this door open, it will spill out into the hallway and turn the walls bright white.
すみません。それじゃあ失礼しますね。
I clear my throat and open the door. This is about to be the best lunch of my life. I enter the room without a doubt in my mind.
カチャリ。
I hear a clicking sound as the door closes on its own. Since when did this door have an automatic lock? Head tilted in confusion. I walk into the Japanese-style room.
いらっしゃい遠野くん。どうぞそこの座布団に座ってください。お茶も入ってますから。
CL gives me a warm welcome. Neatly laid out in the room are two cups of green tea, a pair of cushions, and a massive torture device I vaguely recognize.
先輩、
ああ、どうぞ気にせずに。安心してください。それは善良な人には反応しませんから、悪い人にしか聞かないんですよ。例えば、約束を守らない嘘つきとか。
Definitely not me. I don't do that. Her perfect smile makes these words truly intimidating. This is no reward, it's a carefully staged ambush.
それは結構ですけど、なんだってそんな物騒なものをわざわざここに。
More importantly, how? Can it shrink? It probably can.
いいえ、ちょっと手入れをしていただけですよ。体はないのです。私的に今のところは。
Can Nanako come out? I want to see my little horse friend. Oh my god, I just realized I said that so nonchalantly and normally. And there are people who are watching this who don't know about the further extended Type Moon and Tsukihime verse, and that was probably just the stupidest thing they've ever heard, with zero context. But people that know are like, "Oh yeah, right." You know, but for me, it's just okay. Anyways, it sure sounds like she has something else in mind. She looks up at me with a wide grin on her face. This is bad. Worse than Vlov. If I don't get out of here now, my life will be in danger.
まずは座りましょう、遠野くん。あ、もちろん正座で。ここ、お茶の間ですからね。
CL thwarts my escape with a perfectly timed move.
ですよね。
Slowly, I lower myself onto the cushion, tucking my knees under me. I miss the old CL who would cheerfully tell me to make myself comfortable. I cower before her, daring to say nothing. Anyone would, faced with a 1-2 combo of that smile and that weapon.
ところで、これのことですが。
Oh, she just picked it up! CL reaches for the weapon ever so naturally, like this is part of the tea ceremony. Without so much as a grunt, she lifts it up. That hunk of metal looks like it's several times heavier than me.
本当は秘密なんですけど、遠野くんには一度見せていますから隠すこともありませんよね。これは大昔に作られた特別な道具を対吸血鬼用にリスト化したものです。遠野くんには何に見えますか？
My first thought is that it looks like a nightmare for the person at the wrong end of its barrel, but I bite my tongue and say it looks like a big gun. Adding that it looks really cool, of course.
その通りです。これは私が持つ武器の中でも大きなもので。
I know it's not the biggest. I can think of 2 bigger ones.
ここから杭を打ち出して嘘つき。いえ。吸血鬼にお仕置きをする道具ですね。油圧式でしたが、それでは特殊環境下で故障する危険性が高いので、メイン動力は魔力による外部圧力に作り直しています。今まで3体もの大物を仕留めた私の自慢の一品なんですよ。
You know, I don't I don't know what environment hydraulics can't be used in, but I'm sure there's one where it's like underwater or in space where it's like you can't use it like that, so sure. Was that a Freudian slip? Something she said freezes my spine and shatters it to pieces, but it looks like my off-the-cuff compliment saved my skin. Ciel's mood improved slightly after I praised her gun. Guess I should keep going with the flow.
それはすごい。私のってことは先輩の手製なんでしょうか、このでっかいの。
もちろんですとも。もともとはある用途のために作られた装置だったのですが、それは祭壇のようなもので持ち運べないサイズでした。
Yeah, the only person who can fight with that is Phoenix Wright in a lost version of Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Now, originally, he was supposed to literally fight with like his desk on wheels, and that was going to be how he fought. That's such a niche joke.
なので、それらを部分部分に解体したものの一つがこの杭打ち機、断罪師の武装です。わかりますか？断罪師。要は罪人。例えば嘘つきとかを懲らしめる審判裁きの一撃ですね。このセブンの弾丸を受けて立ち上がれると、いえ、使徒はいないでしょう。
Ciel gloats like a proud parent. A stake driver this powerful could probably take down anything, even a vampire. The problem is whether or not its next stake has my name on it.
他にもいくつか種類がありますが、それらは今の遠野くんには関係がないので紹介はできません。
It's a powerful
誠に
image.
残念ですが諦めてください。
It's a powerful image, just her with the gun slightly off screen.
そうですか、それはよかった。参考までに聞きますが、その銃、杭打ち機の他にはどんな無理難題があるんでしょう。
Well, it loves carrots.
そうですね。火あぶり、引きつぶし、切り刻み、
Poison.
毒まぶし、炒めつけといったところでしょうか。
Poison's a new one.
おや、不思議なことにこれらは吸血鬼に協力した罪人にも適用される刑罰でした。それが何か？
Me too, bud. I am so screwed. She's far beyond the point of suspicion. She knows full well that I went out with Harquid last night.
ところでお茶をどうぞ。喉の渇きは会話の渇きですよ。
Okay.
きちんとしたお話をしてくれると思ったので、特別に渋いお茶を入れましたから。
Alright. Time to apologize with everything I've got. I have no choice now but to believe in the power of confession.
先輩、ですね。
はい。何でしょうか、遠野くん。
昨夜の話なんですけど。
ほう、昨夜のお話ですか。それは興味深い。成長しますので遠慮なくどうぞ。懺悔だと思って。
I'll be honest, I've done confession like 3 or 4 times, and yeah, this is about how scary it usually goes.
すみません。俺は先輩との約束を破ってアルクエイドと吸血鬼を探しに行きました。あいつとは2日前からそういう約束だったんです。
そうですか。成果はありましたか？
ありませんでした。吸血鬼は慎重になってるみたいで、しばらくは膠着状態だろうってアルクエイドが。
でしょうね。それに関しては私も同意見です。私と神祖がいる以上下手に動くことはないでしょう。まあそれはいいとして、それであなたの感想は？吸血鬼と協力して得るものはありましたか？
That both of you scare me in separate ways, but also arouse me.
感想ですか？
That's unexpected. I thought CL would be lecturing me for breaking my promise.
そうです。やっぱり怖かったとか、もう二度と関わりたくないとか。だって遠野くんは言ったじゃないですか。武器があっても戦うのは怖いって。だからこれで懲りたりはしないんですか？
それはありません。先輩の力になりたいのは変わらないし、吸血鬼のことを見なかったことにもできない。でもごめんなさい。先輩との約束を破ったことは反省しています。あの時点でアルクエイドと2人で吸血鬼探しをしていることを先輩に告白すればよかったんです。
I bow my head deeply. In trying to keep my word to Arkwood, I stepped all over the leniency CL gave me. No, that's not it. I didn't want CL to hate me, so I kept quiet about my plans with Arkwood. And I did that knowing it would be dishonest.
告白ですか。それはそうですね。遠野くんははっきり私に秘密を打ち明けるべきでした。ですが、私が反省してほしいのはそこではありません。遠野くんはもっと自分の体を大事にしてください。あなたは普通の男の子なんです。私のような掃除屋とは違う。だから遠野くんの身に万が一のことがあったら、
Aww.
私は自分が許せません。
I'd believe it. I can't believe it took me this long to realize how stupid I've been. I was riding high after the defeat of Vlov. With the big threat gone, my thoughts were filled with Seal and Arkwood, and I stopped taking vampires seriously. She's not angry at me for breaking my promise. She's trying, from the bottom of her heart, to get it through my head just how much I'm putting myself in danger.
シエル先輩、
I've got nothing. Feelings of remorse and gratitude are all tangled up inside me and I can't think straight. All I can do is look into CL's face.
いろいろと言いたいことはありますが、そんな顔をされたら何も言えません。考えてみれば、一人で吸血鬼を探してはいけないなんて言った私にも落ち度はあったんですね。確かにあなたは一人ではありませんでしたし、まあ一緒にいた相手があまりにも問題でしたが。
いや、あれはトンチというか言い訳というかですね。
いいです。私も反省かつ学習しました。遠野くんがあれぐらいでおとなしくしている人じゃないってよーく覚えておきます。
Yeah. Is that a compliment? Seal's words are sharp, but I can make out a playful note in her tone. That's a relief. The issue hasn't been fully resolved yet, but it seems like she's forgiven me just a little.
でもあいつがいたって知ってるってことは、先輩はどこから見てたんですか？やっぱり俺たちと同じように街を探し回っていた時、隠れて見ていたとか。
さあ、何のことか全くわかりません。私、昨夜はこの町を離れていたので何とも。
Where were you then?
ノエル先生がたまたま見かけたとかで。
Oh, no, she's just lying because we know Miss Noel is not doing that. Okay.
今日は休んでますけど、昨夜は元気だったんですか？
はい。
Oh. Uh-oh. Looks like CL doesn't know about Miss Noel's absence. Uh-oh. After a few seconds' thought, CL bluntly changes the subject. Turn it into a sword and do a brave pose.
ノエル先生のサボり癖は後で追求するとして、今はあなたのことです。当の
Oh,
指
no,
揮
never
官。
mind. We're talking about us.
私にも落ち度があったので約束を破ったことは水に流しますが、問題はより大きくなったことを理解していますか？
Not really, actually.
問題って何ですか？
アルクエイドのことです。あなたは彼女の在り方を誤認しています。彼女が血を吸わないから人間の味方だなんて考えていませんか？
Honestly, I'm more inclined to believe you with how she's been acting. I don't know how to answer that. It's not because the question took me by surprise, because it's the very question I've been trying not to think about.
そこまで単純に考えてはいないけど。 でもあいつはこの町に救っていた吸血鬼の敵だ。俺たちと目的は同じなんだから協力したって。
やはり根本から間違えているようですね。いいでしょう。部外者である遠野くんに説明することは避けていましたが、今回は特例です。
Big truths, big revelations. What are we doing?
あなたがこの先も吸血鬼に関わるというのなら、彼女と彼女の敵、ロアについてお話しします。
All big truths. Let's go. The mood has shifted. Has Seal given up on trying to stop me from getting involved? She's looking at me with absolute seriousness. I have no objections. Getting the rundown on Arquid and Ro is exactly what I was hoping for.
世界に数多くいる吸血種の中でも霊長類、ホモ・サピエンスの血液を糧とする異物を、私たち聖堂教会は吸血鬼と呼称しています。吸血鬼は大きく神祖と使徒とに分類され、アルクエド・ブリュンスタットは神祖であり、この町に救っているローは使徒となります。上級の使徒たちは皆特殊な異能を持っていますが、ロアはその中でも異端扱いされている特例でした。
特例。あのブローブみたいなやつなんですか。ソとかいう吸血鬼の頂点みたいな。
It's actually really bad that they both have ancestor.
そうですね。行ってきた最悪量で認定するのなら、ロアは使徒海底における9位、27祖に匹敵します。
He's not on the list?
事実、教会は彼を28人目の祖として捉えています。
Okay.
他の祖たちは彼を同意と認めてはいませんが。
Okay, that makes sense. He's like Sion, like Organization 13's 14th member? Yeah. An ancestor, a king among vampires. Vlav coming here was a calamity in itself, so I think that someone has been in this town for decades is unsettling. But I wonder...
ロアってやつはそんなに強いんですか。ブローブと同じくらいなら、俺たちとっくに死んでいると思うんですけど。
ロア本人はそこまで強力な個体ではありません。ですが、対処するという意味で言えば、ブローブよりはるかに厄介な相手なんです。何しろ死んでも生き返ってしまうんですから。
先輩、吸血鬼は不死身なんだから、死んでも生き返ってくるのは当たり前なんじゃないかな。
不老不死と蘇生はまた別の話ですよ。確かに吸血鬼は致死の傷を負っても血液がある限り復元しますが、血液が底をついた状態であれば消滅します。消滅した後も霊族使徒たちが主の肉体を修復し、力ある血液を注ぎ込めば復元はするでしょうが、完全に消滅した後、一人でに蘇生する吸血鬼はいない。けれどロアはそれすら克服してしまった吸血鬼なんです。遠野くんは輪廻転生という言葉をご存知ですか？仏教用語ですから日本の方には馴染みはあると思うんですけど。
Yeah, it's the Catholic Church that really doesn't like it. Reincarnation. That's what Arquid said Ro's ability
は
was.
い、ありますけど。死んでも次の人間として生まれ変わるっていうやつでしょ。
ロアの特性はまさにそれです。彼は輪廻転生を魔術として成功させた。死んでも生き返る、殺しても殺せないとはそういう意味なんです。
Killing him isn't even permanent. So even if you kill the vampire in front of you, they'll just be reborn into the next generation of humans. That's more than just eternal life, that's an immortal existence. I don't know how far his reincarnation can go, but to truly eliminate Roa, it sounds like you would need to end all human life.
もっとも転生には制限があります。基本ロアは存命している間に次の自分をあらかじめ決めておきます。これと定めた血筋の胎児にこれまでの自分の全情報を移植するんです。
Yes, it has to specifically be a fetus.
ロアの情報はその胎児が成人ないし自己としての知性を持つまで影を潜めています。そして転生体が自分を引き継ぐにふさわしい知性を持った段階でロアという吸血鬼になってしまうんです。
ちょっと待って先輩。移植ってつまり赤ん坊が母親のお腹の中にいるときに手術みたいなことをするんですか？
Nah, it's a Wi-Fi baby, bro.
基本的にはそうです。移植は転生先の肉体が胎児の時に行われます。それは医学的な工程ではなく、自然のサイクルに近い工程です。
It's like 5G.
先ほど全情報と言いましたが、要は魂という名の電波と思ってください。
Yep.
電波を発信するのも受信するのも人間の脳。ロアはその肉体が死滅した際、魂を拡散させて次の肉体に転移します。転生先が決まっていればその肉体に、決まっていなければ一定条件を満たした胎児にランダムに。
I think the fact that he has the failsafe of like if I haven't set like if basically if I haven't set up a baby to be my Minecraft bed, I will spawn at a random bed somewhere in the world that meets the requirements of no monsters nearby. Does that make sense?
ロアの優れたところは、魂なんていう計測不能の形而上のものを定義し、伝達可能なものとして加工したことでしょう。
I guess it's not so different than the fact that in like Extella and stuff, Fate Extella, like the soul is a it is a tangible, transmittable entity to the moon. As unexpected and hard to believe as it is, it does make sense. The vampire Ro is reincarnated into some baby when his current body dies, where he remains dormant until the baby reaches adulthood.
先輩の話を
Or close enough, I guess.
そいつは本当に死なないじゃないか。不死身じゃないけど、それ以上にタチが悪い。殺しても違う人間として生まれてくるなら、そいつは人間がいる限り永遠だ。
ええ、その通りですね。ロアが使徒になったのは今から800年ほど前。それから現代まで転生した回数は16回。そのことごとくをアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットは殺害しています。
So each one lives to about 50, huh? That's a long time.
アルクエイドが？
はい。彼女にとってロアは特別な吸血鬼ですから。
Oh? The full
私にとっ
truth?
てもロアは特別な吸血鬼なんですけど。神祖は使徒に関心を持たないものですが、アルクエイドは神祖の中で唯一、彼女は今まで多くの吸血鬼を殺してきましたが、その中でも特に就寝していたのがロアです。
I've known that Arquid is a vampire who kills other vampires. After all, she did fight Vlov, and she seems to be going after Roa too, though it feels like things are a little more
そう
complicated.
だ。ブローブとロアは違う。
Very much, buddy.
ロアってやつは死んでもまた生まれてくるんですよね。なら何回殺しても意味がない。あいつそれを知ってて今回も追ってきたんでしょうか？
ええ、彼女にはそれしか手段がありませんから。そしてロアは吸血鬼として覚醒し、行動を起こした時点で彼女に殺され、その度に転生し、そんな繰り返しをもうずっとしてきたんです。
Ciel hangs her head slightly, biting her lip as if in regret. A vampire with the power of reincarnation. Vlov threatened to destroy human society by pure destruction, but Roa terrorizes it using infiltration tactics. If Vlov was a calamity clashing against civilization, Roa is a disease lurking in the shadows of society.
厄介ですね。先輩、そのロアって人はどんなやつだったんですか？
おや、ロアの説明はこれで終わりにするつもりでしたが、彼に興味があるんですか？
いや、なんとなく。そんな回りくどい不老不死を実現した吸血鬼はどんなやつだったのかなって。
そうでしたか。ではもう少しだけ。始まりのロアは男性ですが、その性別は転生先の肉体によって変化します。
How progressive.
この人の厄介なところは、その発見が極めて困難という点ですね。何しろ人の子として生まれてきて、きちんとした両親がいるんです。ロアが吸血鬼として肉体と意識を変貌させるのは、 肉体が満足に活動できる年からになります。ですのでロアの転生体は成長するまで吸血鬼としての片鱗を全く見せません。そのくせ一度ロアとして目覚めたら、今まで培った人間関係を利用して完全に社会に溶け込むんです。教会がロアに気づいた時にはもう手遅れのケースがほとんどでした。ロアが育った町は死の都と化し、その絶頂期にアルクエイドによって終わらされています。
I feel like it'd be really hard to make all these necropolises and us not know about this. Now, Roa's roundabout method makes sense. Being raised as human allows him to freely amass power and partake of blood while remaining virtually undetected. But I still have one lingering question. Once the host matures and awakens as Roa, what happens to the human it was before? Will their original identity be forgotten, no more than a placeholder persona marked for deletion from birth?
忘れ去られるということはありません。だってその代のロアの人格と記憶は、それまで生まれ育った転生先の人間そのものなんですから。例えば A という人物がロアの転生先だとしましょう。A が成人に達して吸血鬼になった時、覚醒したロアの魂が A になるのではないんです。A という人物がロアという魂に汚染されるだけなんですよ。
Okay.
あ
I
る
mean,
日
we've
突然、
heard this before,
何の
but
前
these
触れもなく
diagrams are
趣味
really
や
nice.
思考が変わるのだ
These
と
are
思って
these are
くださ
very
い。
useful to have.
二重人格のようなものじゃないんですね。
ええ、元からの肉体が持っていた魂にロアの魂がプリントされる。転生体とロアは一心同体なんです。転生先がどのような善人であれ、ロアが覚醒すればそれは吸血鬼という悪になる。死とはその生存手段そのものが人間にとって悪ですから。その折転生先の人格も肉体も変貌します。ロアという膨大な情報と価値観に切り替わるんです。
肉体も吸血鬼になるんですか？ちゃんと人間として生まれたのに。
転生するのは人格ではなく魂ですから。
I guess the soul affects how you look.
汚染されたロアの魂は覚醒した段階で転生先の肉体を徐々に吸血鬼化させる。何代も蓄え続けた情報を生かすにふさわしい怪物の肉体に。ですがそれだけでは万全とは言えません。転生は完成された不老不死のシステムですが、立ち上がりに不安材料が多すぎる。それを補うためロアは転生先の条件を絞ります。まず生まれてくる家が富豪であること。社会的地位も高く財産も豊かな家の子供として生まれれば、町すべてを吸血鬼化させるのに便利ですから。それともう一つが転生先の肉体が強靭であること。こちらは絶対条件ではなく、都合が合えばというレベルですね。人間の中にも特別な力を持って生まれてくる子供はいます。魔術と呼ばれる学べば習得できる神秘ではなく、生まれつき肉体が持ってしまう得意能力。一般に超能力者や鬼ごとされる人種のことです。
Interesting. Demon spawn. That's interesting. Because I wonder if that falls under like what like Akia is because of the bloodline, right?
得意能力というのは遺伝するケースが多いですから、ロアは自分の新しい肉体にそういった人間ではないものの家系を選ぶこともあったと言います。
Seal explains all this dispassionately. A family with wealth and renown, one that spawns people with special abilities. What is this feeling? I don't like listening to this. Not because it has nothing to do with me or because I don't care. But thinking about Rose's conditions and all that makes me feel unbearably sick.
ロアの話はここまででいいでしょう。言うまでもなくロアは私の敵であり、この町に住む人々にとっての脅威です。 そして脅威というのなら、それはロアだけではありません。アルクエイド・ブリュンスタット。彼女こそロアを上回る災害にして元凶。この町を吸血鬼の住処にまで貶めたのは、他ならぬあの化け物です。
My mood changes instantly. Her words hit me like a flint against steel. I was just making Minecraft jokes. Did Seal just say that Arquid is the source of all of this? And she called her a monster?
何言ってるんだ先輩。あいつは俺を助けてくれて町のために戦ってくれたんだぞ。元凶だなんてそんなこと。
だからそれが間違っているんです。彼女はこの町の安全なんて、ましてや人間の命なんて考えてすらいない。彼女は個人的な理由でロアを追っているに過ぎませんから。遠野くん、使徒だって元は人間なんです。彼らが吸血鬼になる方法は2つあります。魔導を極めて自らの肉体を永久期間に変革させるか、神祖という初めから吸血種として生まれたものに血を吸われるか。ロアは後者、神祖に血を吸われて使徒になりました。ロアという吸血鬼ですら神祖という超越種の犠牲者に過ぎない。
Unfazed by my outburst, Sia looks straight at me. Her emotionless eyes tell me what she's about to say.
アルクエイドがロアの血を吸ったっていい。
憶測ではなく事実です。彼女は800年前に一度だけ過ちを犯した。神祖の王族でありながら人間の司祭だったロアの諫言に乗り、杯に汲まれたロアの血を飲んでしまった。
The use of the word grail is an interesting choice.
神祖は私たちとは大きくかけ離れた存在です。使徒は確かに絶大な能力を持っていますが、それらは所詮人間の延長でしかありません。長い寿命を得たからこそ自己の能力を向上させ、結果としてあのような超能力を持つに至りました。極論ですが、ただの人間であっても長い寿命さえあれば、誰だって吸血鬼程度の能力は習得できる。
Why are we doing this? That sounds familiar. Did I read that somewhere recently? It said that for all their claims of never aging or being immortal, vampires were nothing special. Wait, were the books he was reading actually real? I thought it was just like, oh, he reads a random book and it skips to us reading a book to sort of simulate it.
ですが神祖は違います。彼らは現れた時から人知の及ばない力を保有している。神祖とは精霊そのもの。地上で起きるあらゆる自然現象の化身。この星の分身と言ってもいい。私たち人間は自然との共存から独立、自立することで繁栄してきました。星の恩恵を受けながらも資源を略奪し、星が滅びようと私たちは滅びない未来を手に入れた。人間だけがこの現在に行き着いた。人間が地球上で最も優れた種として確立したのはこの一点があったからです。けれど星にしてみればそれは悪です。世界であれ一つの生命、一つの概念です。ですから自身を人間から守ろうという意志が働きます。
We still have yet to really dig into the concepts of like the world and stuff. I was expecting this to be more fully explained in detail in some game, but it really has we've only heard this in Tell. We've not dwelled on it and examined it, right? And I mean, the information's out there, people have told me in little bits, but I'm like, I usually try and wait for it to be explained in game, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. We still have a couple things, places where I think it could be. That's crazy talk. There's no way that nature has a will of its own. It doesn't defend itself, let alone harbor emotions like hatred towards the pests defiling its body. What am I looking at? What the frick? What am I looking at? What is this bloodborne image? No. It does. It absolutely does. But the phase of its life, the scale of its existence is so different from yours that you cannot perceive it. Look at this reality. See for yourself the emotions of nature. Gaze upon the colors of your diminutive senses cannot endure. You do not yet know the anger and pain of this flowing life. What's happening? Why are we on the moon? The momentary terror passes. I find relief in the fact that our shared values are aligned with human sensibilities. Does the planet harbor resentment towards the life forms living on its surface? It is unthinkable, or perhaps we cannot sense it, but no, that is not all. Nature, the world, has a will of its own. It is this that protects us and allows us to live. It is not that we cannot sense its resentment. It is that nature has endorsed the ideal that humanity is beautiful.
惑星、自然現象が自らの触覚として独立させた存在。それが一般に妖精、精霊と呼ばれる者たちです。神祖というのはその一種族なんです。
Do we know much about other races that fall under this? Because there's what Yume Ren is. There's fairies. What else? I don't think we know anything else other than them and the true ancestors.
元から人間を諌める役割として生まれた彼らは、人間を悪としか思っていない。私たちが人間を捕食する吸血鬼を悪と思うように、神祖にとって自然を食い物にする人間は悪なんです。
If that were the truth, it would only be too funny. Why have they been designed so they cannot exist without feeding on such wickedness as humans?
わかりますか？神祖にとって人間は敵に過ぎません。もともと自然の一部。いえ、この星そのものとリンクしている彼らの能力は、それこそ再現というものがないんです。教会の歴史の中でも、神祖と戦った記録は数えるほどしかありません。彼らは世界そのものから力を引き上げる。彼らを倒すということは、世界を倒すほどの概念武装が必要になります。もちろん、そんな武装はありません。
You sure? I just dropped a pair of scissors. I can think of a couple that probably could, but most things might cap out just under that actually.
ですから彼らには外的要因による死を与えることができない。さらにはこんな碑文も残されています。神祖を討つのであれば万全のまま撃ってはならない。死に瀕した神祖のみ葬るべしと。奇襲ぐらいでしか殺せない怪物だというのに、不意打ちを禁じているとかわけがわかりません。
Forbidden to ambush them. Yeah, that's weird. That night, she told me something in the hotel room. If Shiki Tono had met her at night, rather than during the day, not even these eyes would be able to see her death. In other words, no matter what, she will never die. She's the polar opposite of the man who sought to escape death through reincarnation.
いいですか、トーノ君。アルクエド・ブリュンスタッドがロアを追っているのは、ロアに与えてしまった自分の力を取り戻すためなんです。それは決して人間のためではありません。なぜ彼女が弱っているのかは分かりませんが、もし力が戻れば、トーノ君の手を借りる必要なんてなくなります。その時、彼女がトーノ君を無事に返すと思いますか？
CL is dead serious. She's seriously worried for my life. She seriously loathes the blood-sucking monster she thinks Arkwit is. But I'm sorry, CL. I just can't abide that. It's just like you, she accepted me with a smile. Let this monster stand by her side.
返すに決まってるだろ。だってあいつが俺をどうにかするなんてそんな理由ないんだから。
彼女は吸血鬼です。それも使徒のように自身が生き延びるために血を必要とする吸血種ではありません。いいですか、遠野くん。神祖たちが人間から血を吸わなければ、そもそも使徒なんていう吸血鬼は生まれなかった。彼らは人間の血なんか吸わなくても生きていけるくせに、ただ吸いたいという吸血衝動だけで人間の血を吸って人間を人間以外の怪物にしてしまうんです。そんなもののそばに一般人であるあなたを歩かせるわけにはいきません。
Seal's lecture ends there. Maybe it's the headache that's been gnawing away at me this whole time, but the person in front of me feels like a total stranger.
長くなりましたが、私からの話は以上です。これで彼女がどれほど危険な存在なのか理解してもらえましたか？
はい。額面通りにはなんとか。
よかった。じゃあもう彼女には近づかないでくださいね。協力なんてもってのほかですから。
I can't agree with what Seal is saying. I mean, she doesn't even know Arquid. She has no idea what a good person Arquid is.
遠野くん？
嫌です。あいつとの約束は破れない。だってアルクエイドはいいやつだし、俺を殺そうとするとかそんなこと絶対に。
ですからその彼女自身が危険なんです。いい加減目を覚ましてください。彼女は人間じゃない。いつ気まぐれから人間の血を吸うかわからない使徒以上の化け物なんですよ。
I know. I know she's coming from a place of sincere concern. But even so, I can't let her insult Arquid like that.
やめてくれ先輩。あいつと話してもいないくせにそんなこと言わないでくれ。
それは確かにそうですけど、だけど彼女は吸血鬼なんです。それだけはちゃんと理解してください。
だからそれは違うんだって。いいか先輩、アルクエイドは血を吸わないんだ。あいつは自分でそう言ったし、それに嘘があったとは俺には思えない。他の真相がどうかは知らないけどアルクエイドは別だ。あいつだけはきっと。
きっと何だって言うんです。たとえ彼女が危険ではないとしても、遠野くんが戦うこと自体が危険じゃないですか。
That's fair.
あなたは彼女とは違う。傷つけば死んでしまう普通の人間です。私が許せないのは、それが分かっていながら遠野くんを戦わせていることです。アルクエイドはあなたが死んでもいいと思っている。そんなの遠野くんを道具としか見ていないってことじゃないですか。
I mean, mind you, she told me if I can take a break if I'm going too hard. Seal's not yelling at me, but at Arquid, even though she isn't anywhere near here. My whole head is aflame. I fully understand that what she's saying is correct. I know that logically, I'm the one in the wrong. But that's exactly why I can't stand the sound of her voice right now.
うるさい。
遠野くん。
先輩はうるさい。アルクエイドは俺を道具扱いなんかしていない。知らないのに。アルクエイドのことを知らないくせに勝手なことは言わないでください。あいつが守ってくれなかったら俺たちはとっくに死んでたんですよ。少しは感謝するのが筋ってもんでしょ。
Oh. Oh no. Oh, this episode's full of bad glares. Before I realize it, I'm on my feet shouting at Ciel.
感謝？それこそありえません。あんな化け物に感謝してどうするんですか？そもそも元凶は彼女です。あれぐらい当然の義務でしょ。ああ、そういうことですか。なるほど、納得しました。どうしてアルクエイドが町を守ったのか。あれはあなたを騙すための布石だったんですね。ああやって人間らしいふりをすれば 遠野くんがコロッと騙されるから。
I don't care if she was just being spiteful or if she really meant what she said. Either way, she thinks that Arkwood is just another vampire to be killed, and I'm an idiot for having faith in her.
俺は騙されてなんかない。だいたいあいつが嘘なんかつけるもんか。先輩みたいに器用じゃないんだから。
Oh, buddy. Ooh, pick your words more carefully.
俺はあいつを信じます。っていうか、あれが嘘でも喜んで騙されてやる。
ですね、自分が何を言っているのか理解していますか？社会を守る私たちより自由気ままに動いては街を混乱に陥れる旗迷惑な真相を信じるって言ったんですよ。さすがにそれは聞き逃せません。っていうか、私をバカにしてるんですか？
バカにしてるんじゃなくて、アルクイドを信じるって言ってるだけでしょ。先輩こそどうして分かってくれないんですか？あいつと協力すれば街はすぐに元通りになるじゃないですか。
彼女と協力するのなんて死んでもお断りです。月を重しにして眠った方がまだマシですから。
I don't think that's a very good metaphor. I feel like I've heard a similar expression before. Have you? Has that come up before? Oh, didn't Arkwood say something about using like the sun as a blanket or something? Right.
そうですか。死んだ方がマシって話ですか。じゃあ俺も言わせてもらいます。アルクエイドを目の敵にする先輩はなんか全然先輩らしくありません。
Oh.
ブローブの方がマシってレベルで不愉快です。
ああ、そうですか。私も同じぐらい不愉快です。そんなに言うならアルクエイドに騙されていいように使われたらどうですか？そんな人を心配するのもバカらしいですから、私。
This episode is just full of bad arguments, and it's making me sad.
まあ余計なお世話だよ。今日から大手を振ってあいつとパトロールできてせいせいする。アルクエイドの方が先輩より頼りになるし、強いし、いちいち小言も言わないし。
It's funny because he's saying this, then he's gonna go to Arkwood and he's gonna be like, oh, frick. Never mind. Actually, CL might be better.
もういいです。出て行ってください。遠野くんなんか絶好です。ええ、こちらもせいせいします。遠野くんなんて頼りにならないし、弱いし、放っておけないことばっかりするし、二度と話しかけたり様子を見に行ったり、助けたりしませんから、そのつもりで。
それはよかった。
Oh.
じゃあ勝手にします。失礼しました。
Oh, the door's unlocked now. I shout a retort at CL and bolt out of the tea ceremony room. I don't stop, squaring my shoulders as I dash through the hallways back to my classroom.
なんだよ、子供扱いして。先輩だって頑固じゃないか。アルクエイドを嫌うばっかりで、俺の話を全然。
Huh? No. She didn't refuse to hear me out entirely. She let me say my piece and listen patiently. I just got myself all worked up about Arkwood.
でも分からず屋なのは変わらないし。俺から謝ったりしないからな、もう。
On the brink of calming down, I forced myself to keep racing down the hallway. I feel like if I stop now, I'll end up going back to the tea ceremony room to apologize. I'm not sure I can say the same about me, but I know Arkwood hasn't done anything wrong. So no matter how conflicted I feel, there's no turning back.
おや、昼休みも終わろって時にえらくしけた顔で戻ってきたな。
Not now, buddy.
ははん、購買部の袋を持ってるってことはろくなもん残ってなかったな。
I don't even think we ate. The boy who ran away because he was afraid of getting a shot is back, wearing a look of perfect innocence. Now that he mentions it, I realize that I'm still holding the food I had planned on eating with CL. Lunch ends in 10 minutes. I'm in no state to eat right now, physically or mentally.
アリヒコ、お前、腹の様子は？
まあ8分目ぐらいかね。何？くれんの？
Yo, same though.
ああ、食べてくれ。ちょっと今は入りそうにない。
I hand Arihiko the bag from the school store.
そういうことなら喜んで。お、カレーパン多めだな。 というかカレーパンしかないな。あとは牛乳だな。趣味どうかしているな。
Ariko digs in without a second thought. Fifth period is minutes away, but at that pace, he'll have no trouble finishing it. The bell rings, bringing lunch to an end. Drowning in self-loathing, I put my head down on my desk and wait for fifth period to start. We have had better times. The flowchart, that's one scene. That's one big scene. Okay. That's an interesting one. I am real curious where this is gonna go. I'll see you all next time for some more, where hopefully our relationship gets patched up, because right now I'm a sad boy. I mean, mind you, like, again, I was gonna say I've played the game and I know it'll all work out, but there's always the chance that it's totally different. See you guys next time for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Ciao.
Yo.